Awaria is a game made by the exact same guy who made Helltaker 5 years ago, and its numbers has only increased since then. Now instead of making a demon girl harem, we instead play as Yula, a selectively mute and possibly homosexual tunnel runner who willingly signed up to kiss ghost girls for fun. And across 13 different levels of OSHA violations, our sole task is to fix a number of shield generators before they blow up. Our first enemy is Zmora, the low tier shocker, who tries to shock us to death and give us free brain damage. Next is Cutwire 1, the low tier splitter who tries to stab us while leaving traps behind. Meanwhile, Cutwire 2 will slowly follow the player around with the intent of cutting Yula's height in half. And speaking of height, Nikita, the low tier smelter, tries to burn us alive by throwing and dispersing fire. But listen to me well, she has jiggle animations, a mommy-like personality, and she's canonically the tallest woman in the game. I believe in absolute Nikita supremacy. Also, where do I sign up? For the second half, Zmora appears again, but after trying to jump us twice and failing to be taken seriously again, she's had enough of our bullshit and decides to put me in a death cycle for damn near 2 hours straight. Welcome to Tunnel 9, where the difficulty will suddenly crank to 11. In addition to her previous attacks, avoiding stage hazards and having to fix 4 generators twice, Zmora, the high tier gatekeeper, is faster, slams 2 more times, and can strike random spots in the map. Yo Casper, can get your bitch, she tweaking for real. You see, the game has 3 difficulty types and she was still annoying to beat on easy. Also within Helltaker, if you couldn't figure that puzzle out, then you could skip it. But in Awaria, you're gonna have to pray to get lucky, because it doesn't exist. There's so much to keep track of that you forget that other generators exist. And I don't know whether to be pissed or give them the shack apology for it. I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game. But afterwards, we learned the reason why Yula signed herself up, because they were seemingly best friends before Zmora died on her first date. So after making up a little too well, we get kidnapped by an unnamed ghost, forcing our boss to step in. Now we play as Yaga, a severely overworked legendary tunnel runner with a dash that has iframes. I'm about to tweak out for real. So after finding out who kidnapped us, we now face off against Yaga's greatest enemy, Dr. Striga, the ultra tier scrapper, who I can only describe as King Von's greatest general because she attacks by shooting spread projectiles at you while summoning her minions to do her light work. In fact, she has a final stage to do just that. Welcome to Tunnel 9+4, where we play as Lara, with a double dash that can destroy her summons, which is pretty cool, but you'll still get hit because the amount of projectiles in this stage rivals your average Gungeon run, and you'll be speedrunning Carpet Tunnel whilst doing so. The scrap head blows up, the scrap bull charges at you, and then blows up after death. The scrap bots deny 95% of the stage, the giant head fires at us and slams into the map, and the scrap dogs. Fuck the scrap dogs. Everything I've said about Tunnel 9 fully applies here, and then some. This level was just pure evil by the man who made it. It took 5 whole hours to beat this level on hard mode, and my hands were fucking shaking by the end of it. 10 out of 10 experience? Let's suffer again. Now, you may be asking yourself, what do you get afterwards? Well, you get info about the game's creation, concept art and bits of character lore, and a step-by-step recipe guide by the characters on how to make Van Ripper's pudding pies. But I also wouldn't blame you if you cheated your way in. So, before I disappear for another year, I only have one thing left to say. Fuck OSHA. All my niggas died on the first date.